Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Forever Young. I'm your host, David C. Linton, and it's a pleasure to be with you on this week after Thanksgiving. So I think I'm still feeling a little poundage there. It's a great time of the year. It's the end of the year. Where did it go? But now we're at the holiday season, and you know what? We're talking about Santa Claus and the birth of Christ, which is the real meaning of the holiday. And of course, getting together with family and friends safely, of course. We still have a pandemic, and now we got a new Greek alphabet to be concerned with. But, today we got a great show, and we're going to get into it real quickly. But first, before we do any of that, got to welcome once again, and I'm always pleasured to be accompanied by two lovely ladies who make this show what it is. And first is we call her beautiful because that's what she is, and we like to welcome Miss Jean Hendricks. Hello, Jeannie.
Hi, David. As always, I'm delighted to share this post with you. Thank you so much. Back to
Well,
you.
it's good to see you. I hope you had a good holiday. And of course, the person who keeps us all together, she does all the work that really, her hands are really dirty, but they look good because she's nicely manicured. That's Dr. Sharon Mitchell. Sharon, how you doing? And welcome to this week's program.
Hi, David. I'm doing great and so glad to be together with you and Miss Hendricks again and looking forward to our guest today.
Yes, yes, it's a great opportunity to be here as always. And of course, as I said, it's the holidays, and so today's show is really going to be important as we start thinking about getting together and having family and friends around and eating and all those things. But before we introduce our guest, who's returning to us as a returning guest, um, Gene always has a little pearl of wisdom that kind of sets the pace for the week. So, Gene, I know you won't disappoint us again. So, what do you have for us this week?
Yes, David, I do. And believe it or not, this one is entitled Five a Day Vegetables. And as we get ready for the holidays and we're eating, these are things that we need to think about. Five a day, five a day. Keep you fit in every way. Fruits and veggies are good to eat. Healthy food can be a treat. Cooked or raw, orange or sweet. Carrots can be really neat. Packed with goodness. Vitamin A helps your eyesight, and so they say. Be sure to eat five vegetables a day. Back to you, David.
Okay, so the vegetables and an apple a day, right? That keeps the doctor away. We taught when we were young. Thank you so much, Gene. It's always, like I said, you always have the right term. And so let's get right into our program. Our guest, I made reference earlier, she's been with us before, and we're so glad to have her back. We have such great guests come on the show, and sometimes in the first time we can't get enough out of them. So we're so happy to have Miss Coffee Dunning, a registered and licensed dietitian with over 15 years of experience. Her career experiences with nutrition are diverse and interesting, ranging from the patient population to the nursing homes to inmates. Currently, military veterans at the Atlanta VA Medical Center. She's worked in county jails, behavioral health hospitals, dialysis centers at Grady Memorial Hospital, which, as we know, is the largest trauma center in the metro Atlanta area. Her skill sets includes nutritional counseling, medical nutrition therapy, community health outreach. Ms. Dunning has a BS in nutrition and dietetics, and a master's in gerontology, both from Georgia State University. She's board certified and just all the credentials that one would need. And she's an enthusiast when it comes to exercise. She's run the Peachtree Road race the past 7, 8 years, numerous times. So we are so glad to have someone that we can talk to because as we get older, we have to adjust our diets and eat better. And around the holidays, when we kind of throw caution to the wind, we really need a word of wisdom. So welcome to Forever Young, Miss Coffee Dunning. Welcome once again.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so good to see you again. Um, as we said, it's that time of the year. We know that people say you are what you eat. We've heard that as we was growing up, and so since we're focusing on healthy aging and eating, um, tell us, what do you do as a registered dietitian? You know, what is
Well,
your role?
essentially,
Sounds
my
it sounds
job
good.
is, what'd you say?
I said it sounds all good. So just break it down to us.
Okay, it's very simple. I'm a person who loves to eat and drink, and I'm just giving you a personalized plan to help treat any chronic condition that an older adult may encounter. That could be diabetes, is much popular now since the pandemic. We do also, a lot of people have gained a lot of weight, and so I'm just there as a guide to help you through your lifestyle from making bad eating decisions that can again affect your overall health. So I'm just a tool, and we basically have to know everything a doctor or a nurse has to know in the allied health field. So we have to know the medications. You have your medications. We have a lot of food and drug interactions. So yeah, being a dietitian is just not cooking in the kitchen. You have to know everything from kilocalories to again knowing the different medications and how they work, and then the body systems.
Well, thank you for setting the table. You set the table perfectly, so to speak, because, and that's why we really wanted to get into the nuances of what you have to do, because, like you said, it's not just
Mhm.
fixing meals. There's so much you have to know, especially when one
Mhm.
gets to a certain age and you take medications
Mhm.
and all that.
Mhm.
So, again, so ladies and gentlemen, sit back. We all got some COVID pounds. We right after Thanksgiving, so we know that there's a lot that we can glean from this program today. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jean for the one of our first questions. Jean.
Yes, Carla, who are your main clients that you serve?
Okay, well, right now I always kind of focus my practice on older adults because that's just I just have a passion for dealing with older adults, and I kind of deal also with people who have chronic kidney disease. Chronic kidney disease is going to be very common, as you know, especially in the African American community. But everybody's going to know someone on dialysis. So I even see it growing for the next 20, 30 years. So that is kind of my scope, my focus is older adults because again everybody think after you turn 40 is over, but it's just beginning, as you know.
Very good. Thank you.
Excellent. Yes,
Yeah, that is
excellent.
so
So
true.
yes,
No,
and
go
we
ahead.
we always talk about age is just a number with this audience, because we
Yes,
certainly believe that you're forever young. So
that's
since we're
right.
talking about older adults, what do you feel is the best food for this age group, particularly seniors, those who are over 50 in this category?
Well, I really want them to focus on vegetables. We keep on, now we're in COVID and we're in the wintertime, so I'm really putting the stress on eating fresh vegetables: kale, spinach, collard greens, turnip greens, Brussels sprouts.
Mm.
Every day, 2 cups of dark green leafies. And also, I want them to get away from eating processed meats such as bacon and sausage every morning. You don't have to have that southern hard
Wow.
meal. So my focus is on
Wow.
vegetables, less meat, more water.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Attacking my bacon, my bacon, my bacon, my
That,
bacon.
that,
I'm
that that's
sorry,
real
I,
deep.
it's hard.
I know. I just had it this morning. I had bacon this morning. Oh my goodness.
No, but it's funny. No, but it's you're right. But as you say, and my wife and I have this. We talk about meals all the time because she's a great cook and she's trying to get me to eat my vegetables. And now it's almost like you did you talk to her before this show? Because she was saying I was never big on vegetables. Um, but now even today I had for lunch I had a salad. Okay.
Wow.
But that's so the best meal plan for seniors really is and the healthiest diet. What is the healthiest diet? You talked about the best in a meal plan. What is it? You eat early, you eat late. There's a joke about old people eating at 4:30 and all that. So what is the best meal plan? How do you What's the best plans for
Okay, since I
seniors?
know I'm dealing with my retirees, and retirees on their own schedule. They said I work
Right,
50
exactly.
years, 100 years. I'm going to be on my own schedule. So the best advice that I could offer anybody if you're retired is within 1 hour of you waking up, you need to eat a breakfast. A breakfast can be a protein bar, it could be one egg, one English muffin, no biscuit. You need to have your heaviest meal that we consider dinner no later than the 4 o'clock news. That's a good marker. So something heavy early in the day, what we consider light, a half a sandwich, a half a salad if it's past 7 or if you're going out for different festivities.
We're back on our Thanksgiving installation.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Well, look, you might not be popular, but my favorite character is Celestial because
One of the quotes that I wrote down in the book that kind of stood out to me was "Love is the enemy of sound judgment."
She seemed like a very needy woman. And I can't even respect Andre because how do you prey on your friend's wife while he's incarcerated? Like, I just can't get with that. And maybe I got too invested in the book, That's the point.
I'm a breakfast guy. I got to have breakfast. If I don't have breakfast, I don't feel right. So
Right.
go through that again because somebody might have
Well,
missed
the
that.
breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's kid, old adult, middle age. You always have to start off that breakfast because that breakfast is going to set up that metabolism in the morning. It's going to set your metabolism for the day. If you're a traditional person who skip breakfast and say, okay, it's 12 o'clock, you're going to tend to eat more. So I always say something small, even if it's something unconventional, even if it's a piece of turkey and one slice of bread. It's always a protein and a starch. You always want to start off with protein. That's key. And no sausage and bacon is not a protein. So no Jimmy Dean.
But it tastes so good.
Bacon is not a protein.
Right.
That's processed.
Okay.
What about
All right.
turkey
I yield.
bacon? Is that okay?
Okay,
What about
turkey
turkey
bacon,
bacon?
to me has more salt than pork bacon. Now they do have some on the market, and then, believe it or not, I mean Kroger has a good turkey bacon that has less salt, and also their turkey sausage has less salt than anybody on the market, and it's cheaper if you like that. But also it's the amount. Like a turkey sausage should be no more than 2 ounces. So or 2 inches if you want to really. So it's really like the size of your thumb, not these long links that people eat for breakfast.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's interesting. That's quite
What
interesting.
is it is. What is the healthiest diet for seniors? I'm a senior, so and I need to know what's the healthiest diet for me, being the age that I am.
Okay, the
What do you
healthiest diet
suggest?
for a senior would be a plant-based type of diet. And what we call plant-based diet is that we're getting most of our protein from plant-based sources. That could be whole beans, beans like red beans and rice, navy beans. You want to also, you don't have to go extreme, it's tofu, but you always want to go meatless at least once or twice a week. So you're just doing more vegetables. You don't need but 6 ounces of meat a day. And what is 6 ounces of meat? Well, I hate to use this. This is real chicken. This is Popeye's chicken. That's another reason why we are in the condition we're in America, is because of my favorite chicken, Popeye's chicken. So as you see, it's very small. So this is 3 ounces of meat, and this is a thigh. So you really only need these two to survive all day. And some people eat 4 or 5 pieces of these meats per day. So it'll be more of a plant-based type of diet. And then like
Beans,
you
now
also
you mentioned
too, you have
beans.
like this is cauliflower rice or rice cauliflower instead of eating potatoes. This is low in carb, and so this will be a very good choice for you to choose if you're a diabetic. And I know we have a lot of diabetics and a lot of people being diagnosed with pre-diabetes right now.
Okay.
Okay, so see now everything that you just picked up. I had Popeyes for dinner last night. Wife didn't feel like, cooking, so I ran out. We got some Popeyes. You know, I'm
And then here's
glad I had that.
biscuit that's full of carbs.
But I only ate one biscuit. I was good. I only ate one biscuit.
Okay.
Now, how many pieces of chicken did you have, David?
Right. How
You
many
had
pieces
more
of
than 2
chicken?
pieces?
Let's see. I had 2 legs
Oh, he had
and a wing. I said I had the breast for this morning with some waffles.
So you know and it's very expensive. So it's very expensive too to eat badly. You know, it's very expensive to eat at these different places. And so it's still nutritious to go and actually, if you love fried chicken, which is again a lot of people's kryptonite, you can fry it yourself, because again, this is filled with grease, but it's good. It's just like liquid. It's just addictive. I don't know what they do, put in the chicken, and then the biscuits are addictive too. I mean, they're very good, especially when they first are made. So really watch what you're eating, especially during the holiday season. Try to make sure that you cut back on all fast foods to at least once to twice a week.
Now you said something about cooking yourself. What about air fryers? That's the new hot thing now. Is that more nutritional?
Right. Everybody has an air fryer, but I mean, it's controversial because what I'm about to say is that it's still viewed as fried food in my eyes as a dietitian.
Okay. I wanted to know. I think people need to know that.
It's just not going to have this grease like this Popeye's chicken.
Oh, wow.
All right.
But it's still fried because people love the air fryer because it cuts down on time, especially if you're trying to prepare a meal.
But so you're saying that the air fryer does not cut down on calories? When you don't have the grease.
Right. It's just a different process. Okay, we compare, I remember we go back 20 years ago, I guess, when KFC had their type of chicken. It really wasn't greasy, so they're using that same kind of process. So I really, it's not greasy, but you're still getting the calories with the air fryer.
Wow.
Okay. See?
That's
But it's still, I mean, I'm not trying to knock it because I know a lot of people love it. I mean, everybody in their home has an air fryer, but it's still, you still need to get those old, black skillets and fry some chicken.
I'm with that. Okay.
Yes.
So Gina, Sharon, I think you may have a question.
So you talked a little bit, Carl, about nutrition. Can you talk about what type of nutrition we need for seniors? Is there a minimum that we need per day in terms of nutrition, whether that's vitamins or minerals or some type of supplements?
Okay, well, I'm not a believer in supplements. The only supplement that I'll ever recommend is just that 1,000 IUD of vitamin D. But if you are a senior and you're eating at least 2 cups of fresh and frozen vegetables every day, you don't even have to worry about a multivitamin. For seniors, a lot of male or females, they're low in iron, which I'm worried about is their anemic level. Okay, because anemia points to other things.
Yep, all us.
You're losing blood from somewhere. And most men are not anemic, and so they're going to have to bone up again on things that are high in iron. And so that'll be, again, oatmeal in the morning. That will be, you don't necessarily get I love liver and onions. I'm probably the only person who loves liver and onions. But
I'm with you. I love you.
I love them.
Yeah, I like it too, believe it or not.
I hate that,
Mm-mm.
Piccadilly,
Not for me.
sometimes they don't put it on the menu. But you can get it from beans. Again, dark green leafies again will be one of the things. So if you're getting a well set of like 2 cups of fresh and frozen vegetables, I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
when you say that, because now I always make jokes about myself, because when you say the 2 cups of a vegetable now, or 2 of a fruit, now does that mean I have to go get the measuring cup? What is a measuring cup? What does 2 cups look like to me? You know, do I have to go get?
And
Do I
then
get,
another
if
thing
I like
recommend,
grapes, do I got to get the
everybody needs
grapes
to
and
get
put them in?
measuring cups.
Okay.
Measuring cups. So everybody needs to get measuring cups. I know it's not the Dollar Tree anymore. It's like the $1.25 tree, but I got this from the Dollar Tree when it was $1. And so this is 2 cups. This is a cup of vegetables. And then, so you need 2 of these minimum to kind of help you with your vegetable intake.
Okay.
And so you really want to make sure you have measuring cups as a standard. And so that's what I would kind of recommend.
Okay. That's helpful. I know we have some. I've seen some of those in the pantry, in the drawer. So.
Right, you gotta use these to take your food.
Yeah, those are measuring cups.
To put it on your food. So, and then if you're trying to struggle with portion sizes, and I know a lot of people struggle with portion sizes, you always remember half your plate should be vegetables. Half of your plate that you're eating should be some type of vegetable or salad.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's a good way to know. And then also I recommend that you buy like the 3 compartmental styrofoam plates. If you buy those, that will kind of give you a memory. You know, I need to put my starch in the smaller part, and I need to put my vegetables in that larger compartment.
Oh, okay. That's a good tool.
That is good. See, I
It
always
is
did the
very
opposite.
good.
I put my meat there.
Right.
So measuring
That's what we put
cups
our
are
meat,
your
right.
best friend.
So we
Right,
usually put
and
our
a large
meat.
piece.
Okay. See
Right.
how
We
much
put
we're
our meat
learning?
in the big section.
So
Yes.
tell me what is.
Is love transactional? What is it? It's so good when you loving somebody and somebody loves you back. You know, you want that and somebody loves you back part. What is love? I feel like we just opened up the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
So now let's go to the other side of the equation. People who may eat too much. You know, what are some things you need to do if you're over 60? I just joined that group and want to lose weight. Now I'm not overweight, but again, so what are some things you might need to do how do you eat, to lose weight? What is that? Tell me that. What is
Okay, again, congratulations for making another decade. The whole thing you want to recommend, I know we talk about food, but are you exercising? Are you getting the 30 minutes per day? Are you making exercise a priority? And I know a lot of people, I always say, like right now, it's winter time, so about 5:30 it's going to be dark. So you need to at least walk 30 minutes a day. If you're unable to walk, with all the fitness stuff they have now since the pandemic, you got everything on YouTube, you got fitness channels. even Hope TV. I mean, you have to find something that you can do for 30 minutes inside your home. So I recommend exercise. And again, it's concentrating on am I getting a low carb diet? And also, we see most people at this age get diagnosed with pre-diabetes or full-blown diabetes. So you need to focus on, for women, a 45 carb diet, and for men, a 60-gram carb diet per meal. So it's basically low carb, more vegetables, and then cutting down on the starches. So again, let me see, this is macaroni and cheese. Again, I think this is on sale at Popeyes again. So they only give you, this is a cup of macaroni and cheese. And can anybody just eat a cup of macaroni and cheese? I don't think so. So the thing is, you have to focus, it's greasy, that you want to kind of focus on, can you do 1 cup or even a half a cup of this per meal with no bread? So the focus is on the vegetables, and are you exercising? Because most people carry their weight in their midsection.
Okay, again, I'm going to be that transparency comes out. Okay, so I do walk. Okay, I don't walk every day, but I do walk at least 2 miles, and I'm getting up to 3 miles. I walk around the neighborhood. But then I come back and I have me a bagel. with cream cheese.
Then you need to go back and walk 3 miles, David.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it's just a portion. So if you're doing if you do the whole bagel, you need to just do a half a bagel.
See, that's
With
I'm
real
a
cream
New Yorker,
cheese.
so the cream cheese and the salmon and the capers and the onions and the whole. Okay, all right. I'm trying to do better. That's why I'm putting myself out there so I can be corrected. This is therapeutic for me.
Carla,
Jean, you
do
got a
you
question?
recommend supplements for seniors? And if so, which ones would you recommend as far as eating is concerned?
The only supplement, another thing they do for seniors, and you can even see it on TV, they do a lot of supplement about the joints, and they keep on talking about arthritic pain. The only thing that's going to help you out is going to be water, drinking 64 ounces of water, pure water a day. Also cutting down on sugar, cake, cookies, sweets. But the only supplement, ma'am, that I would recommend is vitamin D, because a lot of people are not going outside, and you need vitamin D is the miracle vitamin. And so it's only 1,000. You can get that over the counter, or you can talk to your doctor. Everybody's taking vitamin D, 1,000 IUD. That's the only supplement that I would ever recommend. But you got to eat those vegetables. Vegetables.
Now,
let me ask you something else.
Okay.
I do the vitamin D also, and then I have another vitamin that my doctor recommended I use for my bones also. But now, in drinking water, sometimes I will put a lemon juice in my water because I get tired of plain water. So is that the same? No sugar or anything like that? So is that okay to drink it that way, just to put some lemon juice in to make it different?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you
So it's
can use
still considered
Crystal
water, as long
Light,
as I don't put no
because a lot of
sugar.
people don't like to drink plain water. And also water, so I recommend water, at least 4 water bottles a day. 4 water bottles. You got to put a timer, or just make sure, or you can have something on your watch. Well, I got a watch, but you can put it on your phone to remind you, I got to drink my bottle of water, and you need to finish that bottle of water for that hour. And I know a lot of people on water pills, but you got to drink that water, because it's flushing everything out.
Now, I got a water question before Sharon asks the next question. People, now that we're on the water thing, now people like to drink alkaline water. Is there a difference between alkaline water and two, we drink so much bottled water, are we missing something in terms of the chlorine? I mean, the minerals that might come from tap water?
Well, water is water. I mean, you're going to add, some people have a Brita, and then some people have this water. You got, you got the Kobe Bryant water. I think they just sold it. So water and alkaline water is the same. Most people would debate you, but because of the different additives, you've got smart water. But the key is, are you drinking enough pure water? And also, I know to your question about all these other additives, I mean, it's just you just have to look on the label because nothing is ever 100%. And water here in America is not regulated. So unfortunately, you can just probably just use tap water and be fine, just as long as you're drinking water.
Okay.
Because
So,
they're going
Carla,
to keep selling you this, they keep selling people, okay, well, this alkaline water is going to help you for like balance, pH balance. And no, that's
Right.
not a myth. It's not going to keep you from having diabetes. It's not going to keep you from having kidney disease or diabetes. The thing is your weight. Are you paying attention to your weight? Are you active? And then here, go ahead. I talk about the vegetables again. Are you eating 2 cups of vegetables?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm
So,
sorry.
Carla, with the water, does it have to be room temperature? Is there a difference as to room temperature versus drinking it cold? Does that make a difference?
No, it's not. I mean, some
Okay.
cultures would say it is a difference, but I would say no, it's not a difference. As long as you're drinking the
Okay.
water. It's so hard to get people to even drink 64 ounces or even 32 ounces of water.
Yeah.
So I would just say just drink the water at this point. Ice, no ice, just as long as you consume
Okay.
the water, because and then people don't realize people missing as we get older, we start missing the signs of dehydration, and that leads to falls, confusion, brain fog, because we're probably not hydrated because people keep going and going at these excessive rates that they don't rest and center their body with good old plain water, and that could alleviate a lot of conditions.
So, Carla, my actual question involves you talked about balanced meal. Can you talk a little bit about this intermittent fasting that we hear a lot about now, particularly as it relates to seniors? Is that something we
it's
should
very,
be
very
doing?
popular, and then
Yes.
people keep mixing it up with, okay, I can have something while you fast. Well, the key to intermittent fasting is that people do lose weight, because you can, like, okay, so you say one basic intermittent fasting is that you you cut off eating from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. You don't have nothing to eat. Okay, that's fine. And then at 3 o'clock, you have one meal. But people are not talking about what it's doing, especially if you're a diabetic. I would not recommend intermittent fasting just because your body needs food. You never starve yourself if you're a diabetic. Yes, you're going to lose some weight, but once you stop the intermittent fasting, you're going to put it right back on. So the key is to cut down on portion sizes, cut down on fast food, restaurant food, and it's again going back to these portions. So it's again going back to, again, for women, a half a cup of rice, pasta, macaroni and cheese, and then cutting down on, are you cooking at home? You need to ask yourself those basic questions. So as far as your intermittent fasting question, yes, it's very good for a person to get started with weight loss, but are you going to continue to stop eating from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. for more than 6 months or a year for you to lose the weight? And a lot of times right now with this pandemic, most people have gained like 10, 15 pounds that they need a start. And so if you're diabetic, I would not recommend intermittent fasting at all unless you talk to your doctor to adjust your insulin, or if you're on an oral diabetic medicine.
Well, you know what? This was such a good segment. I'm hungry. But time has run out on us. The time has run out on us. And so this is what I call, this has to be a two-parter. Can we impose you to come back and do another 30 minutes for our audience next week? Because this has been really informative. You dropped so many nuggets. I'm rethinking breakfast. I'm gonna go and find my cups and put my vegetables in. So if we can ask you, Ms. Dunning, to come back and do another session with us, because our producer is whispering in my ear, we gotta go. So, and I know there's a lot more for our audience to learn and to glean from you. So if we can get you to come back and do a part 2, we would love that. And but before we go, is there any one thing you want to leave our audience with? Just one one bit short nugget for those who may not be with us next week.
All I can just tell you again, 2 cups of fresh and frozen vegetables every day. Vegetables are key.
Okay. All right, then. Well,
Excellent.
for those of you, thank you so much. We have been talking with Ms. Coffee Dunnan. She's a registered licensed dietitian with a wealth of experience and knowledge, and she's going to be back with us next week for those of you who can join us. Again, it's always a pleasure to share the platform with Gene Hendricks and Sharon Mitchell. On behalf of our executive producer, Dr. E. Dewey Smith, our working producer, Camila, and everyone, and Sharon Mitchell, and everybody who works on the program, we want to thank you for joining us, because this is the program that salutes and celebrates life for those of us who are over 40, because we believe that age is nothing but a number, and you are forever young. So until next week, you take care. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jermaine Dolly, Mr. Hello Dolly himself, and guess what? You're tuned in to Tea and Worship with my homies, Mignon and Corey. Keep it out, y'all.
Hey y'all, it's Candy West, and you're watching Tea and Worship with Mignon and Corey.
It's your boy James Fortune, and you are watching my favorite news show, Tea and Worship, with my sis Mignon and Corey.